Hey, good morning once again. Wonderful. We are meeting again on this wisdom over a cup of coffee, inspiration for the reflection season. We said since we are locked down for 21 days, let's have a conversation on a couple of issues. I told you we'll have guests who will be joining me, I think from Monday. We're still laying the ground for them. How was day one? How was the first day? Of course, there's a matter of non-compliance where there are people who just decided not to comply. We totally understand that there are those who, not of their own making, had to go and buy groceries because they got paid yesterday. That makes perfect sense. We are a very unequal society. But then there are those who went out, they were drinking, they were putting up videos, saying things like, I'm looking for Corona. There's a stupid lady who walks into a supermarket looking for a Corona and she leaks the trolley, daring this virus to come. Guys, this is not a joke. It's not a joke. And if ever there was a time where we need to stand together and warn each other not to play with fire, this is the time. Welcome to day 2. Let me say a few things before I get to the message of the day. Apostle Ramile in Bloemfontein, the Global Reconciliation Church, we'd like to extend our extreme appreciation for a bold leadership move where you threw away all the stigma associated with Corona and came out. It's something that would be difficult for many of us to do. And so we want to say to you and your leadership and your church, in spite of the backlash you are getting for this situation, we are behind you. We are with you. We know the work that you have done even before the lockdown was put in place. The announcement your church released about how people must take care and the fact that you attended a prayer to fight against this crisis says a lot. And so we honor you, sir, and I pray that God will stretch his healing hand upon you. While on that point, the use of Corona to attack the church is opportunistic, and I would urge church leaders not to throw others under the bus. There's a tendency that when people say Corona came because of the church, and you'd say not our church, that's putting others under the bus. It was a church service. Those international guests were coming to a church service. And so the fact that it's not your church does not mean you're a much better person, because no one went there to get it or to spread it. This is an attack on humanity, and it's not a time to point fingers at each other. There was nothing irresponsible that was done by the church that hosted that event. They broke no law. They broke no law. And so we'd like to ask that let's pray for them and continually declare that the devil is a liar. Our prayers also with Reverend Kenneth Mishwe, Evangelist Angus Buchan, and all who've been touched by this spark. I will not speak about those who are raising the racist issues against Buchan. Indeed, I think that's a childish. Corona is not attacking him because he's racist. Corona is attacking human race, and he's human. And if you think Corona is a revenge for his racist statement last year, I think you're a child. In fact, a child is better. You're childish. Being childish means you're acting like a child while you're an adult. Stop it. To the creatives out there, please create. After this storm is over, we will need stories, poems, books, and other drawings and sculptures that will depict to the future generations the time that we spent fighting this thing. I'm saying future because I know we will beat it. In fact, that's the topic for my message today. After the storm, or when the storm is over. My name is Sipho Mnyageni, and I'm your coach. Enjoy this presentation.
Preview.
All right, there's a storm, but it will pass. There are three realities I want us to grasp now. Reality number one, there's a storm. Reality number two, it shall pass. Reality number three, what will your testament be when it has passed? What will you be saying after the storm? What will you be saying? And my testimony, I can tell you now, my testimony is, I want to say, I trusted God. I don't want to be ashamed after the storm and find myself having uttered words which made God less powerful, or which credited God for the pain of the world. After the storm is done, I will say, I trusted God in everything I did and everything I said. Now, the message of today is a function of hope. It's a function of hope because hope is what fills you in the midst of crisis. For without hope, the crisis might last forever. It is hope that causes you to breathe, even though around you there are lions lurking, seeking to devour you. It is hope that makes you wake up in the morning to go look for a job, even though you've been rejected many times. It is hope that makes you keep knocking, even though there seems to be no answer from the inside. You keep knocking, keep rising, you keep going because of hope. And so today's message is a function of hope when the storm is over. After the storm. After the storm, we will be in a strange environment. Things will not be the same. 21 days is a long time. And considering the fact that it might be extended if people continue not to comply. Because the purpose of the lockdown is to keep this gem out of the reach of a majority. But if people continue to mix and ignore the conditions that have been set, it won't be surprising if we get an extension. But whether there's an extension or not, after the storm, we will be in a strange environment. Things will not be the same. There are people who've been hiding their real self. But now after staying with them for 21 days, you realize this person can really laugh. This person is actually friendly. This person actually knows how to speak. This person actually knows how to do this. But they've not been doing this under the guise of I'm busy. And there'll be expectation after the storm for you to do some of the things you did during the storm. After the storm, we will have the job of rekindling fires, of restarting our routines. Some of those routines need to be changed. After the storm, we'll have to begin new routines, for we realize that they were not beneficial for our lives. Let me tell you, what happens after the storm depends on what you do during the storm. What happens after the storm depends on what you do during the storm. Do you have the discipline of staying off the kitchen? I hear some people say, I entered 21 days being 70 kgs, I'll come out being 100. The question is, are you able to be disciplined during the storm? Whatever happens after the storm depends on what you do during the storm. Do you have the courage to confront blind spots that you ignored in the past because you were busy? Now you can sit with yourself and see some of the mistakes that you are doing in your life. Are you able to confront them? Because after the storm, you will have to get rid of them. Will this storm draw you closer to God or further? Can you survive without the safe space of your church and churchmates and pastors Will you still be on fire after the storm? I repeat, what happens after the storm depends on what you do during the storm. And what is your storm song? What is your storm song? I can tell you now, I believe that as you go into the storm, the song you sing might be different from one you sing in the storm or after the storm. During good times, the song says, the Lord is my strength. I am unmovable. I'm victorious. Before the storm, while everything is fine, your songs are empowering. Your songs are giving me power. Your songs are songs that bring tears to your eyes because you know that it might be good now, but the storm is coming. And after the storm, your song changes. You sing songs of victory. That's what confuses people, because right in the midst of a storm, when everybody seems to be going left and right, worried, you are continuing with the praise song. Remember when the disciples were going helter-skelter because the boat seemingly was sinking. Jesus was sleeping. He was singing a peace song during a storm, because what you did before the storm will carry you in the storm. Remember I said to you, what happens after the storm depends on what you do during the storm. This storm shall pass. The question is, will you be standing when it passes? The storm will affect you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and professionally. When the storm is past, will you still be standing? There are three things I want to suggest to you we need to do as we confront this particular storm. One, clean up. During the storm, clean up. The storm, let's take a house that has been flooded with water. That's a storm. That's a situation that no one wants to be in. But once your house is flooded with water, you have no choice but to lift up your furniture, to start sweeping under places where you never swept before. You pick up things you never knew were there. The storm is there to help you clean up. A storm is a laundry for character. And during this storm, I urge you to clean up. Don't leave this storm the same way you came in. Use the storm. Don't let this crisis go unused. Use it to better yourself and to become a better person. So clean up. Get ready. A storm is a training ground for the next storm. Truth of the matter is, whenever you have a storm, you've lifted the levels. You now know things you didn't know before. There are challenges that you meet in life that help you for the future. Challenges that when you think about it, you're like, I didn't know I had this much strength. Yes, you do. And the reason for the storm was to help you move over to the next storm. So when the next storm comes, you glean from the power of the storm that just passed. A storm is a training ground for the next storm. And finally, hold on. Clean up, get ready, hold on. A storm is an equipping tool for perseverance. You see, people who've been through storms can tell you that they will survive. Remember when David was facing Goliath? One of the things that made him sure he will beat this guy was the storms that he had passed in the past. When he said, I killed a bear, I killed a lion. You shall be the next victim. Because the storm that you went through was an equipping tool for your perseverance. When people don't understand, why do you keep going even though it's hard? Because I've been through storms. I've been through mountains. And one thing you realize after you've gone past the mountain is, oh, there are other mountains. And one thing you realize after you've been passed through over a river is, oh, there are other rivers. And so you receive a persevering spirit. What are we doing in this lockdown season? One, clean up. because a storm is a laundry for character. 2, get ready, because a storm is a training ground for the next storm. And 3, hold on, because a storm is an equipping tool for perseverance. My dear friends, continue serving God. Continue being at peace no matter what you are going through. I did say there are many other leaders who have got streams running. Let's visit them. Let's learn. Let's get out of these 21 days much better. And thank you for your support. Please do subscribe and do ring the bell so that you will know whenever I've posted a video. This is for me, is a habit for me. I'm forming a habit of being on YouTube and having a YouTube channel. I must say it's not an easy job. It is not an easy job. And so I appreciate your support and I appreciate your feedback. I will be going live one of these days, maybe tomorrow. But when I go live, there won't be these nice things that begin the program. We'll just speak. Then I'll be able to take live questions either on WhatsApp or here on the comment section or here. I don't know where the comment sections are. Enjoy yourself. Take care. My name is Sipho Mnyageni and I'm your coach.